Well, good Sunday morning. Welcome back to Martin's Koi Pond Aquatics and Occasional Fishing. And just for a change, I thought I would face the camera so you can see my ugly mug and tell you there's been loads going on this week with the Koi Pond. So without further ado, I'll flip you round and we'll have a little chat about what I've been up to. So, firstly, just want to say that the pond is looking amazing. I know I'm biased, it's my pond, but it's looking absolutely lovely. Now, I'll start with the nets. The nets have all gone. The only netting we have up now is the perimeter net, which I take down on this side when I'm sat viewing the pond, so I have an uninterrupted view of my fish. And that perimeter net is very important because it stops things like herons or cats getting close to the pond. And also, when the grandchildren are over, it sort of like keeps them away, but you know, it's not solid enough to stop them falling in, but it's enough of a deterrent that they stay away from the edge. And also my Labrador, it helps stop him going for a swim because he loves water. Anywho, let me tell you what I've been up to. Well, first off, I think it was Wednesday. It was a nice, either Wednesday or Tuesday. It was a lovely afternoon after work, and I sat out here by the pond in the sort of evenings, after late afternoon sun, having a cup of tea, and noticed a lot of fish were flashing and one or two were jumping, and I thought, all right, what's going on here, you know? So I thought, I'll test the water. That's always should be your first port of call when something appears to not be quite right. And to be honest, I'd let the ball drop. I hadn't tested the water for a while, and I was shocked. My KH was 0 and my pH was under 7. So I thought, we've had a lot of rainwater the last couple of weeks. I think that's probably what has done for the KH and pH. I like to have my KH around 6 or 7 and my pH about 7.5. And I did some action over the next couple of days to sort it out. So rather than just dump loads of bicarb in at one go and suddenly raising the pH, I did it over the course of 3 days, putting in a heaped mugful at a time. I got that idea from Gifster. He uses a mug to put his bicarb in. And by Friday, my KH was at 6 and my pH was at 7.5, so I was happy with that. And the fish are a lot happier, as you can see. They are really chilled at the minute. I also put in 2 mugfuls of I'm trying to think what you call it. Oh, Mediclay. NT Labs Mediclay, to help mineralise the water and also to give it a bit of a clean. And it has done both of those things. So my GH is up at around 9, and there's a lovely sheen to the water at the minute, which is because of the Mediclay, I'm sure. So that's what I did in the week. Now I've been wanting to get that Screenmatic back online for a while now, and I had 2 options. One was to buy and install a new stand skimmer because my old stand skimmer broke, and then have a pump in the pond, pumping the water up to the Screenmatic. But that was going to cost me somewhere in the region of £250. So I weren't so keen on that idea, because I already got this little skimmer in the corner, which I'll come on to later. So what I decided to do was I bought a Superfish Super Eco 5000 pond pump, so it's 5,000 litres per hour. Now bear in mind that Screenmatic doesn't like flow of over 6,000 litres. If you put more than that in it, it doesn't work right. So I wanted something around 5,000 to 6,000 litres per hour, and I've sighted the pond pump in that corner over there, the far corner, which is the deep. This end is the deepest part of the pond. It's 1.15 metre, so almost 4 foot, and run the pipe along the bottom edge of the pond and up into the Screenmatic. I've still got to sort the cable out. I don't know if you can see it's looped over the cane fence there at the minute. But I've got to dismantle the net slightly to do that. Connected it all up, put the return back on, and after rewiring the switch box, yes, I finally got around to doing that, the Screenmatic was back online and appears to be working fine at the moment. It does get a little bit iffy with the screen clogging sometimes, but at the minute, touch wood, it is working as intended. So that gives me quite a lot of extra filtration to help the Nexus, because I just feel the Nexus, with the size of the fish now, I felt the Nexus on its own was possibly going to struggle this summer. So that's why I wanted the Screenmatic back online, and it is back online now and working fine. So when I did the switch box, it allowed me to get the skimmer back online, because that's connected to the switch box, and that has, in the course of a few hours, because I only put it back online this morning because I had to give it a good clean. It was covered in blanket weed on the inside, so that just shows how much my koi and grass carp have been eating the blanket weed, because there's none in the pond, but the inside of that skimmer was caked in it. So I cleaned all that out and put it on, and within a very short space of time it's cleared all the dust off the top of the water. And I don't know if it's coming across, but the water has a beautiful sheen to it. Absolutely gorgeous it looks. And as you can see, the koi are all well up in the water and loving life. And talking of the koi, the Shiro is now fully healed. His mark is totally healed. Claire the Kahaku, her mark is getting there. I'd say it's about 80% healed, but she had a much bigger bit of damage than the Shiro had. So she's taking a bit longer to heal. What I did notice with her was that she's developed 2 or 3 new shimmies over the winter. Now, like I've said before, I'm not one that will ever show my fish, so it doesn't really bother me, but interesting how they've developed over the winter. I thought they were a summer thing, but there you go. So what else have we been up to? Well, I'll take you for a little walk. There's the switch box that's now all on. I haven't rewired up the float switch yet. I'm going to do that at some point this week. Now the clocks have changed. We've got much longer in the afternoon for doing pond jobs. Now, I've got my water filters back online and I'm running it constantly. So you've got a 400 gallon per day RO system, which initially takes out all the chlorines and heavy metals and all that business. So you get just pure water coming out of it. That feeds into a 3-stage, which is all carbon blocks. So anything that misses will hopefully get picked up by the carbon blocks. And if that doesn't work, get everything, then you've got 3 stages of Rowaphos, which is a phosphate removing resin, which also removes silicate. Now, silicate is one of the few things that gets through an RO system. Silicate is very high in my tap water, and it definitely affects my fish. If I don't use this system, I can't use my tap water. It's as simple as that. It has to have all this to do it, to be able to use my tap water. So thank you, Anglian Water, for giving me such crap water. Just show you what else I've bought. I've bought all these cartridges. Now these are for that water system. Spring is a good time to renew them all, so they'll be going in the filter one evening this week. Obviously the resin I have to do manually. I've got a big bucket of resin in the garage, so they're going in one evening this week when I feel like it. This is the Superfish pond pump, and what I like about this, very low power consumption. It's rated at just 22 watts for a 5,000 litre per hour pump. That's crazy. That is, we are talking a few pence a day to run it. So it's not costing me the earth to put that second pump online, because this aqua pump uses quite a lot of power. It uses about 100 watts. Something else I've put back online is my homemade protein skimmer, which drops water into this bucket, which is mostly full of rainwater at the moment. Now that keeps moving. I might have to put something else to. I need it there really. Look, you see, if I put it there, stuff starts coming out. Trying to think how best to do that. But yeah, I'm happy that that's back on. So there you can see the return from the Screamatic. That's the pipe from the pump. Like I say, the pump is down on the bottom in that deepest corner. This is the return for the Nexus. And fish are looking absolutely magnificent. It does take, when you put Mediclay in the water with a Nexus, it does seem to take about 4 or 5 days for it to take it all out. I don't think it's as efficient as something like a drum at taking the Mediclay out, but it has took it all out now. I can see right down to the bottom. You see these little fish are right down on the bottom. They're the goldfish that are destined to be moving on at some point. Apart from the little baby ranchu, which are those there, fancy goldfish, they're going to be going in the house once they've had a summer out here and put on a load of size. So I'll leave you with this shot of the fish. They will come over here because I'm here. I don't know whether that happens to the rest of you, but my koi like to follow me around the pond because they're nosy buggers. They like to see what I'm up to. So that's it for this week. Quite a big update. A lot of me jabbering on. But these videos are mainly a record for me, a permanent record for me of the life of this pond. So if I look back in a couple of years' time, I know exactly what I did this week and what the state of the pond was. So look after your ponds, look after your aquariums, enjoy your fishing, and I will catch you on the next one.